Greetings all, my name is Claire. I hope you're treating yourselves well and of course others. This is a romance reading, past, present, future, current, what you're into, what you've been through, those kind of shenanigans. Let us get it. Either you have watched this happen many times or watched this happen because you're the source of it. We have the Ace of Cups in reverse. We also have the Ten of Swords in reverse, which kind of leads me to believe that, say the situation could be you are very diplomatic. You could be someone who has a strong sense about them, like strong head on your shoulders. It could teeter into stubbornness. You could be very smart, and you know, like how smart people kind of are a little devious because they have they're just capable of such things, you know. It's just like a higher tier. Like you have a very good sense of humor. You could be into religion, ghosts, or enjoy you could be into like drinking or making drinks. You could just hold your liquor well, or I think you might have had a streak of another lifestyle. Say you were very sheltered at one point. The Seven of Wands is, I think maybe if you were like really sheltered at one point, maybe you've stepped out of that and maybe went a little crazy for a period of time and you're kind of like pulling in the reins on that. Or you could have been extremely open-minded and just like playful, having a good time, doing whatever you felt you wanted to do for the longest time, and you're starting to pick and choose. I wanted to say battles, but like, you know, maybe your love language has kind of been ill-conceived per se. Like maybe you've meant well, but you are kind of misunderstood in a lot of ways. Maybe you walk fine lines with people that you feel close to. Like you could be really close to people, but they don't see eye to eye with you in a certain aspect, so you kind of have to like pick and choose what you tell them. Like it's not even secrets, it's just like a comfort thing. Sometimes people are a certain way and you feel close to them, and that's good and well, but they still, like, your relationship suffers because maybe they're not open-minded to something, or you don't feel like they would be. I think maybe there's a side of you that has been shamed for a way that you are, maybe the way that you speak about the things that you want or love. Maybe it has been bad. Maybe you do have kind of a warped sense of love. The Three of Swords it's a sign of, you had it in reverse, so I would say that it's like a back and forth. Maybe you have gone through trials where you tried and it didn't work. People tried you, like, then you've dealt with good and bad relationships, and both of them have failed you. You've either felt lack in them, and or you tried really hard and you suffered, everything was just, it doesn't have to be terrible, but it just never really ended well. Or maybe it did, but the Three of Swords kind of leads me to believe that probably not. Or you might not talk to a lot of your exes, or just prefer not to hold any weight anymore. Like, maybe you have had a hard time getting over these things, and you're having an upheaval as of lately, where you just are like, if I hold on to these, then I'll never see the light of day again. Like, you're buried underneath the weight of maybe fear. Maybe you haven't ever stepped out of your comfort zone when it comes to showing what you really desire and or how you really are. Maybe it's a lack of trying, maybe a lack of knowledge. You could have product of environment. There's just a whole gang of reasons that people turn out the way they do, but your situations have never registered as pleasant. Like, when you're going through them, they might feel good, you might get some sense of pleasure out of them, but it feels like a sword fight. It usually ends in something like that, or there's like, I don't think that you learned a lot of like the things that you've learned out of relationships might have been because of, it might not be like necessarily ideal. Like, you could have learned a lot from these relationships, and you could be a very you can build your emotional intelligence with all the things that you've been through, but maybe you have never, maybe you've learned a way that you want to be, but you haven't found someone that really ticks your boxes, so you kind of have just been floating in the ether of trying to make some, like, I think you have a very set way that you like to love. I think that maybe you have a very set thing that, like, you could have your eye on someone or a certain type of person. You could have your eyes set on certain things that you like about people that could be, it could lead you to what ultimately ends up to be the Three of Wands. What worked for me, I'll just give you a little advice in my life. Okay, so for me personally, I've always had a lot of success in the realm of hooking up with people. Like, it's been relatively easy to click with people and are just like, get it going, stuff like that. It's been so easy, but because of that, I always went towards certain types. Like, I always had certain people that I had my eye on, and I always picked and chose off of the things that I thought I wanted. And that was leading me down a path of despair. I was not getting what I wanted out of relationships because I was choosing based off of what I had known and thought I wanted. So I've been celibate for like I've been celibate for like 6 years, or like, it's been a long journey, and to say that I have a type anymore is completely blown out of the water. Like, maybe if you just stepped away from what you think you want for a second, you could maybe find clarity, or the mist will subside. Maybe you'll stop being so judgmental to the things that I think that you would stop being so judgmental, even if it's not like, harsh judgment, but like you pick and choose. So there's obviously things that you're looking for and things that you write off very quickly. Maybe just being like taking a step back, like look away for a second so that you'll get a fresh view of things. That kind of notion. Take that information, take of it what you will. I think you're ready to build. This is just a random. At the beginning of the reading, I pulled these two cards from another deck. Doesn't matter. I think that you are feeling more calm, more wise. I think you were ready to put that to the test. I think you've either learned from people or you've learned from your own situations and tests knowledge. You've attained some sort of new perspective or a different way to act. Maybe you're like, I'm ready to act right, or just like there's a confidence. Maybe you've just you've expanded in some way of your life or made some progress. So you're ready to like put that sort of feeling into action. You're ready to test the waters in a new way, whether it just be expressing to people that different things, or finding new people to express stuff to, or trying to find new people with a new expression. There's a whole gander of things you could be doing. If you are wanting to spice up your life, maybe look into some jewelry. If you've always enjoyed jewelry, maybe get some new, or if you've never looked into that, maybe like see what's going on. Maybe you would be interested. The Six of Wands indicates that you have slowly made your way away from situations that no longer serve you, people, places, things, identities. It's a slow process. It could have been a very emotional process. It could be easy now, but at one point there was high emotions involved. It could have just been you were causing emotions, and you finally are not dealing with repercussions anymore, or you have hid your emotions for a long time and you're ready to show them, or you're feeling guided towards people, maybe guided to like act a certain way or speak certain truths to people. You have the Sun as well, which is a very nice card. It indicates that you're probably being guided. There's very serendipitous events coming for you. You could enjoy like laying your head on your partner. You could enjoy going outside, eating outside. You could enjoy fire. You could enjoy like wax play. You could enjoy I heard suspension. I don't even know how I don't know. You enjoy people that give. You enjoy people that you can maintain relationships with, even if it is just like a fun time. I think you really enjoy and respect people that can maintain conversation, hold your interest. I think you really, you might find that it's difficult to hold your own interest in things at certain times in life. So when people can do it, you really respect that in an individual. You probably enjoy movies. You could really enjoy watching movies with your partner. You could enjoy like laying with your partner, and maybe there's like banter involved with watching shows. Maybe you have shows together that you like to watch. That could be something very sacred to you, is watching things together. But like laying with your person, you could spend a lot of time just laying in silence. Maybe something that you could enjoy doing is finding a ritual where you just lay with your partner whenever you can find, like maybe like in the morning if you can, if you aren't like constantly getting up and like having to do stuff, you maybe could lay with your person on occasion or all the time. You could just lay with them. I like outside, but I think that there's a lot of touching, there's a lot of hands, like even just like, you know, like light, very playful touch. I think that you could enjoy stained glass. You guys could enjoy just staring at each other. I think that there's a lot of, you could enjoy very intense things in the bedroom, like intense thrusting. Oh God. You could just like, you guys could argue a lot, but that could be like kind of like your love language. Like you guys just have good banter. I think you really appreciate just alone time, silence with your person. It's a very sacred feeling. I think you love through your body. Maybe that's why people don't always see that you are so passionate, because that something about you has mostly allowed you just to communicate through, you know, passion and or like lustiness, or just something that it's not so much romance as it is just like, I want to say force, but I think you just are it's passion. You're a very passionate person, very like feral, very barbaric, just very carnal person, very protective of the people that you love. The Four of Wands is just beautiful. You could come back around to a person. I think that you really enjoy going out. You probably enjoy seeing your person, how they maneuver in certain situations. I think you really enjoy watching people that you know in their element, or watch them in their skin. You could be very observant, very physical, just someone who you could like almost like slink around things, like lurk. You have a very nice gaze, for sure. You could just, I think that your love feels very heavy to you and others. Like just the way that you love, maybe because you hold yourself back in certain ways. It almost feels like you have like this like ball of energy inside of you, and people can feel that, but they don't know what it is, because it's just a feeling to them and it's knowledge to you. Like, you know what the issue is and what deep within yourself, even if it's not like diagnosed exactly why or what you're feeling. You know that there's something combative or just like combustive. There's something electric inside of you, and you could be holding it back. The Ten of Wands is burden. It's the person is carrying a weight. It's something you could probably let go. I think people would really appreciate you just to be yourself, because even when you can be like whatever you are, there's a sense of like playfulness in this world that allows you to be polar. You can have all these things as long as you balance them out. Like holding stuff back allows imbalance. So I think that you should come to terms with whatever you feel and love how you love, because you are just enjoyable, just scrumptious. I think that people enjoy the way that you're like, I wanted to say your skin taste, so maybe there's like a licking thing or biting. There's a lot of like mouth stuff, spit or not, maybe that grosses you out a lot. Like it could be like a polar thing. You could be just someone who is like very vanilla, but you love eye contact and just like deep strokes. But you know, it's there is an intensity to you that balance is your best friend. And with that, I hope you have such a lovely day. Gotta know I love you. Pile 2. Grateful for you to join us. We're talking about passion. I was getting the feeling that you might enjoy being like smothered was the word that came to mind, but I was thinking maybe like you enjoy hands. You can enjoy why do I keep on getting these words? Like, I just got crushed. You could enjoy just like hugs. You could enjoy people touching, like, you know, face to face kind of stuff. Like, you know, like when you touch temples or the you know, all those things. You could be very into close face stuff. Like you could like to put your face in things and touch people's faces. I think you have a very active love life. You are always in the field. You could be dating right now. You have the 6 of Pentacles, so you could be either like talking to someone or dating. I think that you could be starting to date someone and you're seeing the potential in the future. You could have been someone who has dated a lot and maybe enjoys having, like, why did I hear harem? But you could just, you know, like have a variety or have had a variety of people throughout your life, and you're starting to feel someone is catching your eye. Like, I think something is actually holding your attention for longer than you thought. It could have been like snuck up on you. You could have not seen it coming. Maybe you miss this person, or maybe you're missing someone. Maybe you are in a long distance relationship and you have to go back and forth a lot, or you do a lot of video stuff, but you maybe are feeling intense feelings as of lately, and it is causing change. Maybe you are starting to want more out of relationships that you have allowed into your space. You could be very into climbing of some sort. You could be into building, architecture, rain, storms. You could live in, I don't know why the South, I heard the South, but you could live in the mountains. You could live on a high elevation. You could be dramatic or very like you feel things like you wear your feelings on your sleeves. You very much are a show of the things that you want. I think you are easy to attain the things that you want because you put them on display very easily. You could have a lizard. You could be into reptiles. You could be into patterns. You could have a lot of tattoos or into tattoos. You could have like a very, you could have some vices, like you could be into some things, you could be into some stuff, but you know, like drugs is what I mean. So, I don't know why that was difficult to say, and there was like, it doesn't matter. You could be into long hair. Bondage. Sorry, I didn't mean to make that face. It was just, I'm looking at this face. There's like this snooty face. It's a 6 of Wands, which is a good card, but this person has a snooty face. You could be very into people that are down to earth. You could really value communication or deep sex. Like maybe you do hook up with people, but you still desire like an affinity in some way. You don't have like one night stands. You might have like dated a lot of people because it's easy for you to attain, but there's no such thing as maybe like meeting someone and getting into it. That doesn't really happen, I don't think. I think it's kind of like you need to at least have a little bit of room to know someone in order to find any pleasure in the situation. You could be really good at something in your life. You could be very talented in a lot of ways. You could be very intelligent. I think that you are on display in some way. You could really enjoy, what is it called? You just enjoy outdoors, making love outdoors. You could prioritize that. You could really enjoy like, you know, like roadhead. Be safe, people, but like you could really enjoy, like that could be a thrill of yours, is like being in situations. I don't advise like public nuisance or anything like that, but you really could enjoy like groups or parties. I just got the 3 of Cups, so maybe that was a lifestyle of yours, or maybe it's something that you look for just when you're viewing like porn or something like that. It could be like a fetish of yours, like gangbangs or gosh, threesomes, multiple partners. You could be really into like double penetration, that kind of thing. I make these faces just because it's like it's a lot of words coming out of my mouth. It's nothing, no judgment at all. I think all of these things could have potential to be fun, even if I'm not into them. It's to each their own, and I love it for you. I think that you are very comfortable in yourself. Maybe you've had a lot of good results in partners. Like, you don't have like a lot of bad energy. Maybe you could talk to anyone. People might even still come to you. People probably still hit you up. You don't have like, things might just like die out. It might not be like a situation where you always like it ends poorly. You could just have like a lot of partners that you've had and they still want to see you, but life just like, you know, drags you away, or like just, you know, people fall away. But I think you can be monogamous if you wanted. There's maybe you're finding that you are either good at monogamy, or maybe you are finding that you don't want to be in a relationship that you're in, or maybe you're starting a relationship. I think trying, like going on a few like serious dates with any of those situations. Like if something is dying out, if you don't want to have like if you don't even think you would want to go on a date with someone that you are dating or that you've been talking to, maybe just like communicate with that person and maybe it's time to do whatever you need to do with them, even if it's like therapy or something, or cutting off or ending. But if you're meeting someone, maybe go on an actual date with them, see what happens, see if you like it. Just communicate if you do or don't like that. Like in the end, like once you go through the motions, if you do, just communicate with that person where you're at after that. Just like try. And I think maybe you're interested in doing that if you don't have anyone that you're interested in. It seems like you could be like either coming into someone or know a few people that you're interested in. Just actually going through the motions of getting to know people is maybe kind of simmering in your mind, or like there's a spark perhaps there. Maybe you're feeling like you want to build somehow, some way, even if you're like into all these other things that are very open-minded. Maybe you find a partner that's into that too. It's just a communication. Maybe you've been kind of out of the game for a while and you're finding that your love that you're loving differently. Maybe you're like kind of taken aback by like, because like maybe you have been out of reach, or maybe you've been like working or resting. Maybe you've just decided to be celibate, but you've been out of the game for a second, or just like mentally out. Like maybe you haven't decided to actually take anyone seriously for a very long time and you've just been doing your thing. I think that you're finding a new person in your recent actions. You could just be feeling compelled to frequent new places and see what happens, or it just seems like there's you have the Magician, which is so nice. It is having the perspective, it's having like all the tools, but you're able to be in control of them. Like you can pick and choose. Like this person can pick up whatever he wants, he can put down whatever he wants, but he has the capabilities to do it eloquently and with ease, and if it's not ease, then to make it look like it is. You could be into stimulants. I think I've mentioned them before, so maybe it is a real thing for you. Maybe you could drink. Maybe you're stopping drinking because of other habits, or maybe you're stopping a drinking lifestyle because it makes you kind of negative mindset, or maybe you're trying to go back out into life and seeing if you can how strong your will is to contain yourself. Like maybe you're giving yourself another chance to try, like, but like in a social situations or love, just you're rehashing something. It seems like just like looking at it differently. The 5 of Cups could be like, don't judge yourself too hard. Whatever you've been, wherever you've been, know that you're worthy of growth and you're worthy of change. Eight of Cups, yeah, it's just, I think you're worthy of change. I think you could be into, when I said stimulants, I was thinking like coffee too. You could really like caffeine. You could take supplements frequently. You could care about your health or start to build on your health because it affects your mind state. You could be finding out lately something about your health that can aid to better performance in the bedroom or in life. Attitude, just like the way that you eat definitely affects everything else in life. So maybe you're just like kind of taking the reins on that, even if it's like not very serious, but you know, just being more apt to better meal choices or like cooking more, consuming more water. I'm hearing like fried or burnt out. Maybe that is what you are looking back at yourself as, or maybe you're feeling that. Maybe you are not seeing anything right now in your life that is changing. Maybe you're not seeing how you're capable of change in some way, or maybe you feel like damaged. The Ten of Cups in reverse is maybe you're feeling, because of a way that you've been, that you're like kind of like weirdly undeserving of love. Maybe you felt like you've been like jealous in other situations in life, or selfish. Maybe you've been cold to other people, or impatient, or demanding in some way. But I think life is not here to judge you. I don't think, like, I feel very light and compelled to say that I think the only judgment that you're feeling is on your own accord. Maybe you feel like you deserve a certain lifestyle, or you're feeling stuck and you are kind of just like sitting in a mood about it. Or maybe you feel like you are having a hard time getting past something, or you're worried about like the possibilities of something crumbling. Maybe you feel very emotional about a situation and you just don't want it to go. Like you want it to stay with you forever, or you want it just to be good forever, and you're just walking on eggshells about it. You just want things to be good. You want to put down any sort of demand. Like, let's see. I think you're trying to clear your mind of all the things that you possibly could that could trip you up. Like, you are on this mission of higher knowledge, but it doesn't even have to be towards something like in the stars. It's like you just want to be better. You want to be solid. Maybe you want to be solid for someone in the future or now. You're even just yourself. Maybe you have a family that you're building on in some way. Just you were compelled to, you have something actually worth reaching out and touching. So I think that you kind of are like reassessing life in a sense of, oh, I care, so I need to carry myself like that. Like, say, like, you might have had issues with like going off with like just being angry easily or something like that, and you like lashed out. Now you're realizing, I have things that I want to protect inside of me or outside of me, that's not worth that behavior. Like, I don't even want to risk anything like that anymore. You could like aesthetically barbed wire, or you could enjoy like spikes of some sort. Like, you could enjoy roses. You could enjoy writing or like handwriting a lot. you could be very in touch with like your dark side and your light side, or maybe that's just you're really like maybe you're very intense or you're very smart in a certain way, so you're polarizing, because I think even people that don't like you can find things, can like talk themselves down from the reasons that they don't like you. Like there's you're relatively like you're in your own lane. I think that you could have like haters for some reason or another, but it never really falls on you too hard because you are in motion. Like you're a machine of forward motion. It's hard to, like, you're a train. When people try to stop a train, what happens? You can also like come to a screeching halt if we're going to stay on the train analogy. I think you are your biggest confidant, or like your biggest person in your life, but also your biggest hater as well, because when you find that people don't like you, it's because you are in situations where you don't even want to, like, if you would give yourself time, you would find your way out of them. Like, you tend to easily, like, if you go into situations where you know you're supposed to be and you feel like you are working towards something that's beneficial in your life, you see results pretty quickly in a good way. So maybe you are easy to deal with negative stuff. You could be someone who has let sex be your guide. Like, maybe you've dealt with lovers that are whatever to you, but because they are so good at what they do, you've stayed around. That could be a problem of yours. I think you might be fearful of that, or of like carrying any of that baggage over. Burn it with fire. Allow yourself newness. I think just take a deep breath. You are going to be someone's angel and devil. You are just going to finalize someone's life in the most heavenly way. I can feel it now. I think that you were probably really good with your hands. You're wet. I'm hearing wet in a lot of situations. You could really enjoy eye contact, things from behind. You could enjoy pulling hair, or just like having your hair pulled, or like tugging, like tugging on skin, like claws, grabbing. I think you really enjoy like dim lighting. You could really enjoy mood lighting. You really could be very good at moving your body, pleasing. Like, some people have it, some people don't. You do. I think you could enjoy like restraint stuff. You could be very into flight. That's not like a like a kink thing. I think you could really enjoy just like being at heights of some sort, or flying, or you can enjoy bats. I think you really enjoy darkness, like candlelight. You could enjoy echoes, I heard, for some reason, or maybe you just enjoy voices a lot. Like, you could enjoy your partner's voice, or you might have a thing with singing. maybe you enjoy singing to people or being sang to. Maybe that's been a thing in your past that is just important to you. You could like hot springs or crystals. You could enjoy flashy things a lot, like jewelry, money, cars, housing. You could be really into like architecture or like home decor. You could just like things to look put together. You don't have to have nice things, but when you have an aesthetic, you embody that very easily. I think you have style, grace. You see things that people don't. Maybe you see things in people that they don't. Page of Pentacles. You see like I think you could be like anti-establishment for some reason, or like might not have gone through a lot of schooling. You could be figuring out what you feel religious-wise, or maybe finding Kundalini energy. Maybe you need to heal a part of your sex life, or like, heal your sacral chakra. Just try some stretches. You could really do like that, could help you a lot. Or actually doing like tantric sex with your partner. Just, I think that you should look into opening your sacral chakra, and maybe even your solar plexus, because this is yellow. Maybe you could be very loud in the bedroom, girls and guys, because I like to hear when people are having a good time, like my partner is enjoying themselves. Maybe you could really enjoy when people like you can hear that someone's having a good time, or you like enjoying looking at people's faces when they're having like pleasure. Okay. On that note, you gotta know I love you.